Hello, I'm Nick Wilson, and this is a recording of my Substack article entitled Social Critique of CBS Sunday Morning's Ideology of Despotic Social Determinism. The following are my real-time critical impressions from a phenomenologically, anthropological, third-person perspective of the third space. The following, no matter the experience, is by design. Episode description via CBS.com. Hosted by Jane Pauley. In our cover story, Tracy Smith talks with Nicole Kidman about her latest film, Babygirl. Comedian Jim Gaffigan shares what gifts you should not give this holiday season. Luke Burbank profiles singer-songwriter Maggie Rogers. David Martin sits down with Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Rocca chats with, yada yada yada, some actress named Audra, air date December 15th, 2024. Critique. Main segment interview with Nicole Kidman about a movie she's doing called Babygirl, which apparently is a super steamy Christmas Day release chronicling the heroic yet inspiring adventures of a female high-powered CEO, philanderer, or maybe rosebudding a certain Miramax exec on Christmas Day. Open your damn presents, brats! Mommy, Hoda, and Kathie Lee gotta pregame this boxed kegger of Sin Zin before we welcome the baby Jesus in the new inclusion-mandated manger lathered in the sloppy seconds of Nicole and her new thunderous Thor. Now equipped with state-of-the-art new Yankees chain technology, new factory silicone scent, and 4 new rotating pre-programmed familiar endearments. Now standard. But wait, there's more. Upgrade now and unlock all new, distinctly different codependency affirming vocal ranges and cadences for those extra intense feelings of inadequacy. Pimp hand and bottom bits status sold separately. Buy now, today. Before critically critiquing, let's address the 2 instances of bad timing presented thus far. No matter your emotionality towards the curious case of Luigi and the CEO, tragic or not, was an unfortunate black swan event for a movie in which the protagonist is a CEO. That said, I'm finding the upside of releasing this film on Christmas Day like drunk Joe Namath struggles for primetime sideline affection on Monday Night Football. How is releasing this type of content specifically on December 25th beneficial? Besides inflating the bottom line solely from the controversial negativity it surely garnered on what was the most innocence-packed, child-friendly day of the year. So why? From another perspective, and this is where we can blindly trust the science, so you know we're practicing safety-isms practices. If you prefer, as I do, on the face of the thing, whatever it is, to apply Nash's equilibrium and respectfully grant parties being critiqued the wherewithal to properly identify the optimum conditions required to accomplish their mission statement, and 2, acknowledging that all chartered personhood's sole jurisprudent objective is profit. Then, from this agreed-upon lawfully grounded foundation, it would be prudent to project the author's suspicion that there exists an institutionalized cause célèbre, determinist casuistry driving these pathetic assembly line corporalized projects home, literally. And yes, that was all one sentence. A predestinarian zero-sum game is being played out by Babygirl's financial stakeholders by purposely one-to-one pegging their success. To how many children's Christmas innocence we curb stomp with our radical feminist ideological smut? If someone could please provide me with a reasonable adult explanation as to why it's important that Stella gets her diamonic groove back while we can still hear Santa ho-ho-hoing off yonder. I don't know. Maybe I've lost the plot. What compels a publicly chartered personhood who solely exists to procure profit to release a picture glorifying a married woman, empowering herself to decimate her husband, her children, and by proxy herself for the sole shiny adulterous widget of being gaped by a barely legal Chippendales jobber? Don't answer that. It's a trap. Instead, help me imagine how sweet Babygirl's Gigachad's name will be. Something like Alejandro Australia, exiled and rightful king of Australia. CBS concludes their full court philandery of Kidman's receptaculum ignis that means dumpster fire, by sending out the Country Mac version of Al Franken. Here comes Jim Gaffigan, Cinna bumping his gums, Ben & Jerry's liquid sugar dribbling out his onion funyuns hole as his chuckles gyrate his jiggles, crammed into his Wonkavator escalator like a bulbous gelatinous sausage that only goes to the bank from his groundbreaking humanitarian work sculpting modern man from his own self-image, namely dumpy cockhold slob. Only slightly humorous in his sad clown French postmodern fatalism. This white whale-ish inseminating Leviathan character has been moldy for over a decade now. It must be regenerating off the fermentation fumes from all the alcohol he must consume to survive another Christmas day in which his figurative CBS Sunday morning wife, Kidman, twists the knife a little further, literally gushing all over his kid cuisine-sized hot pocket, as she relives her malignant, humiliating philandering. I have an innocent question about Kidman's career that will spiral out of control. So let's ask Christina Izzo from Yahoo Entertainment, who just published her 7 best Nicole Kidman movies ranked. She missed Cold Mountain completely, but give her a chance. At least she didn't use the word cinema. But maybe Cold Mountain got canceled. If progressivism went full iconoclastic on the Miramax canon, that's progressivism's single consciousness's prerogative, not mine. I use logic and reason to critically think for myself, which assists me in properly compartmentalizing the inputs. Those who are ideologically possessed are incapable of inputs. How many times has Kidman reprised the femme fatale, biblical Lilith archetype in her cinemas? Because this isn't the first time she's played the baby girl. It's how Kidman chose to honor the avant-garde this time around that's truly groundbreaking. Dare I say it? Nicole Kidman is taking on the titanic acting challenge of simultaneously playing the baby and the girl. I know what you're saying. How could she? But what if I said there was more? What if I said that Kidman plays a character who, while somehow juggling 2 monikers, she courageously digs deep, never gives up, and somehow finds the fortitude to push through the menopausal hot flashes and early onset osteoporosis to get dicked down on Christmas Day? It's only a matter of time before one of these lunatics convinces themselves the public needs to honor them by praising her courage to bankrupt whatever flying monkey studio is guilted and shamed into funding her magnum opus, one-woman 10-hour trilogy chronicling the imperium maldictum of a demented senior citizen, cluster B personality, body-positive, obese, bulimic, traffic sex worker who received a divine message from the Midas Touch podcast to gender reassign as male, coronate himself Emperor of San Francisco, win the WWE Royal Rumble and the WWF World Title belt by pinning an uninterested panda, all while smashing Caitlyn Jenner to bits at Strip Twister. Listen, the statistics on these matters are definitive. These boomers just won't go away. I want to say, hopefully this is Kidman's final Bernaysian flesh-ploitative cash grab saturated in malignant cruelty, but we all know this is just the beginning. We should have drew the line at Clibbins. I'm all out of ideas, folks. Ignoring them just seems to intensify the complexity of both their circular logic and their psychic synchronization of ritualistic shaming techniques at scheduled preparatory, scholastic, and athletic competitive events. Not even Nostradamus could have foretold an over-the-hill actress of note playing Hansel and Gretel's lovable Wendigo witch, eyeing to devour more than she can chew. A much younger, uncomfortably so, King Alejandro Australia, rightful and exiled King of Australia. You're right, the name does sound funky. You believe that there's no Australian option on Google Translate? Come on, Google. We can't realistically manage quarterly expectations when our thinking is dovetailing up the wrong flagpole. We need a uniquely granular, yet macro-intensive for more concrete, but also actionable value adds. Moving forward is literally getting some boots on the ground for abstract schematics filled with arrows pointing at numbers of arbitrary grandiosity for the media debut spectacular announcement of finding a pipeline that could possibly satisfy the space between the outside of Kidman's box. Australia! In his chiseled, jelked Gigachad Prime. Anyone? Looks like I'm doing all the heavy lifting tonight. It's 3, and it's free. Babygirl, 1999's Eyes Wide Shut, and 1995's To Die For, the oldest of which Miss Izzo thinks is a comedy. I won't spoil what is an exceptional Gus Van Sant movie, but while To Die For is an achievement in many aspects, none of them are comedic. The film is effective in its ability to induce anxiety. I'd argue it's far more relevant today for its eerily accurate portrayal of Jungian inflation, megalomania. Miss Izzo's comedic characterization. This may have been a Wikipedia copy and paste, walk of shame kinda late morning, if you know what I mean. Wink, hint, wink. Isn't as out of touch as Piper Laurie was when she was cast as the religious fundamentalist devouring mother, Margaret White, in Stephen King's 1976 Carrie, shooting the whole film convinced it was a comedy. You read that right, a comedy. If you're wondering what relevance any of this diatribe holds, we'll see what happens. This is the literary equivalent to flying by the seat of your pants. Piper Laurie was washed up before her interpretation of the character Margaret White, making the rare John Travolta-type Pulp Fiction career revival by being nominated for an Academy Award for her terrifying acting. And somebody had to tell her after the movie was finished that it was not a comedy, but a supernatural horror. To recap, Piper Laurie read the script for Carrie, and we can only assume had several business discussions and negotiations to play the part after auditioning for it more than once. These are just the bare bones of the industry standards here, people, not necessarily the Miramax winning formula. But she then aced her personal artistic work as a professional actress, memorized her lines, created an entire universe for the character. She then rehearsed with all the other actors, rehearsed with the director, blocked all the scenes, did all the tech work, spent weeks with all these people, working intensely on a professional storytelling endeavor for profit. And if there's one thing we know for sure, she obviously didn't speak with the notoriously passionate king, or maybe she did. This was at the height of his coked-up, drunk writing phase. See Tommy Knockers. That's all you have to say. It's just my educated guess that she probably didn't read the novel, nor ask for much direction. Why would she? She's Piper effing Laurie. They hired her because she's a serious artist, an award-winning actress. We've all seen the results. See Color of Money, Paul Newman, and Jackie Gleason as Minnesota Fats. And then watch The Color of Money, which is what? No, what's the other one? Hold on. What's the one with Tom Cruise? Am I confused here? Which one is which? Now I gotta look it up. Gosh, darn it all to darn. Color of Money. Am I getting the titles confused? I am. The Hustler. Gosh, darn it. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, here we go. Now I gotta go back. My point is, there's at least a degree of separation, give or take a universe, between a genius and a not. Bracket K, bracket N-O-T. Footnote. Vocalization advisory ahead. Begin reading aloud in the most obnoxious downtown Chicago Wacker Street dialectic imaginable at point A, designated by the star. The result will be hilarity. Star. What do you mean you don't know what a knot is? I just told you. It's the simultaneity of the conceptualization of not being a genius and Wilson, that's me's own neo-reactionary postmodern Gordian knot, bracket K, bracket N-O-T, rumination, dressing. It's better than Newman's. You can applicate any deductive theory you wish from the following conclusionations. 1. Knots are getting orders of magnitude more difficult to spot. Geniuses will always walk between the raindrops. AI Internet 3.0 is succeeding in its goal of totalitarian knowledge equality. Glad I did all them readings. If I would have known this, I would have spun up all the stalactites off the flaming souls of literary gods instead of reading them. Damn it. 2. All indications, that's 2 of them, point to Miss Izzo from Yahoo Entertainment being a not. And 3. If you find these distinctions to be negligible, you're contributing to your own cultural entropy. I was only able to deduce that Miss Izzo copy and pasted from Wikipedia because Wikipedia says it's a comedy and it's never watched it either. The epitome of centralized, corporatized vapidity pulls its information from such infallible sources of authority as David Ruminelli at artforum.com, who admitted in his review of To Die For that he finds Joyce and Shakespeare difficult and boorish before labeling some of the darker themes in To Die For as storytelling cum moralizing. Sure, I guess I can see your point if you consider realistically staging a story inspired by the very real transgressions of Pamela Smart, a malignant, sadistic, delusional megalomaniac who oozes more bipolarity than landside Lyndon Johnson, who sexually manipulates a mentally challenged man-child into murdering her providing, trusting, albeit listening, challenged husband, a form of misplaced shame and or moralizing, so be it. Now, Back to Nicole Kidman being naughty on Jesus Day with a festive Yule log. Not the past due, shriveled, crusty log attached to her 60-plus-year-old pretend husband, Tom Cruise. Keith Jim Schlim Gaffigan, who begs everyone, he's begging everyone, someone, please give him permission to pee standing up. No, he doesn't need any of your placation. He doesn't need it anymore. It's time for him to be a big boy. But please, if you're looking for a gift idea for him, he needs alcohol, the hard stuff, the type of John Barleycorn grain liquor, that'll once again imbibe the pubes of his undercarriage with the shellacked, spackled hue of pastel amber, the type of bog fuel that'll possess him with the... What the fuck is going on? I got two cats here trying to mate on each other. Get the hell out of here. I'm trying to record something here. I'm a major writer. Jesus. That'll possess him with the mystical John Travolta Scientology, like psychic phenomenon of stochastic dead language belligerency, some far-flung Indo-European Hellenic dialect, possibly ancient Macedonian. It's a dead language. A framework will never exist to qualify or quantify the brilliance spewing forth and frothing like a cresting geyser of symphonic majesty, sweet land of liberty. Intelligent will ever like agonizing parthenogenesis noises. No one can stop your oration of the forever lost to time and valuable mysteries of forgotten philosophers. Some may claim it's the spirit of Alexander the Great, or more likely Diogenes. Others may request a citation. The point is, the archetypal American schlub, failure by all measure, laughing stock, human humiliation, old fat leopard dad must pound fire water until Christmas goes away. So Slim, Jim, and Mr. Nicole Kidman accentuate the hyphen. Gaffigan can get back to their bond-unifying ultimate utopian holiday fantasy of imbibed, parabolic, emasculatory cuckery, and that's Jane Pauley's Sunday CBS Sunday morning intermission for messages from all of our enablers. Next segment, Maggie Rogers. No idea who this person is, but I venture to say she prefers they to any binding gender identifiers, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. This is simply my honest impression. I'll be more honest in saying I don't think she can help being gorgeous, but I digress. Rogers is seen and described as holding on tight to superstar music producer Pharrell. Rare Earl is how the journalist Burbank, and I think after this, we can decide who the journalist is and who is playing pretend, pronounced it. Who just arbitrarily, I guess, Pharrell, jumped at the chance to start this nobody's career. No quid pro quo. And she magically went mimetic lawnmower woman demigod. Again, the brilliance of South Park comes to mind. Step 1, steal underpants. Step 2. Step 3, profit. So we're to believe that this low-born cabaret wench fag hag, footnote 1, ugly duckling who just wanted to be a nerdy sound engineer can be innocently transcended to superstar Swiftie archetypal icon status just by perfecting the image of sycophantic progressive. That any random Division III ladies college softball team's #1 starter can magically be discovered. If they fortuitously happen upon the inconspicuous sweet spot of courtly Machiavellianism inherent in every clinger's personal relation with their neighborhood music mogul. Yep.
Yeah, his name's Ferrero. He takes them pretty ones to sing in his can. They like to sing in his can, and then he does things for them and to them. Quid pro quo, son. Almost as old as time.
Your fairy tales will come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. The answers are hard to find if you're narrow of mind. If you follow Maggie Rogers' transcendence into Van Morrison's mystic ascend, into the kite-looking diamond seventh dimensional kite ship Leninize, as one conscious hive mind obey. I don't know anyone who would consider eternity inside a single diamond consciousness with Van Morrison anything but ear-urapia, but let's keep moving forward. More lunacy ahead. CBS voiceover describes her as personal, private, quirky, a harp player. Her vibe is mystical, Zen-like, all shucks, artistic guru-y, pseudo-masculine female, age 30. And here comes Jordan Peterson, raptor. Oh, God. So she's in her biological prime reproductive years, and she's advertising exploration of being alive. Merit. And prefers to work in what she's termed music in long form. Merit. Ever since the Merit thing, I see Jordan Peterson as like a Jurassic Park velociraptor. Merit. He just says merit. He just keeps going around and like preaches merit.
Such merit. Such merit. Such merit. Such merit. Such merit. Such merit. Such merit. Such merit.
But I'm crazy. I mean, what else? Are you listening to what I wrote? Okay. She works in, terms music in long form. Music, you mean like Joe Rogan via Mark Maron? If I can cut in here, how retarded is this? She dreams of doing her musical art in long form. You mean a concert? Oh. I see how it works now. She just did entomology. She just invented long-form music to get to know her fans who strive for, and I can't make this up, active listening experience. Practice, not an experience, an active listening practice. So if they're not active listening and they don't know how to actively listen, which is it's stupid. I forget what the term is, but it's dumb. you can't inactively listen because listening is an action. So these people that are Maggie Rogers fans have admitted to themselves and everyone else, which I guess is the first step to, addressing your issues, that they've never listened to anybody, but they would like to start listening to her music in long form. Active listening practice. And then she said that word again, sequencing. This time, okay, so it's out of her mouth, which tends to appear more frequently in discourse led by progressive, Maggie Rogers-like, enlightened, long-form, mouth noise, active listening practitioners. Sequencing, as in sound engineering, mixing to soothe her Manchurian candidate horde into more engagement compliance, and she went back to school at Harvard for some ambiguous course of study, spirituality and media influencing in the Divinity School. Let that hang there for a second. They're training elites how to transcend themselves into meta demigods at the Harvard Divinity School. Excellent. Excellent. Elon Musk Vogue DAP inserted here. And that sounds like a meaty journalistic better call your allegorical CBS Sunday morning philandering mom of the decade. And Burbank, the journalist, literally just called her concerts spiritual. And she says that she's in the eye of the storm. Girl, you got no idea how right you are. She's currently fully possessed and inflated by it. She's playing a covert lesbian diamonic. To recap what all this is, it's scientifically proven that the human brain automatically drops into an alpha wave receptive trance when in the presence of a screen. The majority of you, all the other 14 of you, it was CBS Sunday morning. No, get the fuck out of here. Stop trying to make that cat. Stop it. I'm doing the work here. I'll beat your ass, Chad. I don't care how big you are. Big, bald, stupid cat. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm just going to keep moving on. When in the presence of a screen. The majority of you, all 14, may have viewed the episode I'm describing, will probably not remember doing so, but the mediatized message is behaviorally deterministic. Your presence is the only requirement for your hyper-normalization, education, to the same closed loop of malicious subversion of the family dynamic. And I'm not a devout religious fundamentalist, and I don't have children. I'm one of the last philosopher poets. And to us, it's so tragically obvious. I'm not saying any of the portrayed individuals or the lives they lead are in any way incorrect or wrong. I don't have any horse in any particular race, but I'm fully aware that the crowd has been hollowed out and we're being herded towards the stockyards, and I'm in the crowd. I can't see where the stockyards are. We may have trampled them. Hence, this is how mass hysteria works. It's your decision and right to publicly call me a lunatic. I hope you do. But that doesn't change the fact that CBS is consciously making racial and sexist business decisions, namely to portray who they think of as white men as archaic relics, that have long since served their pathetic, sad little raisin of a purpose, all while lifting up literally everyone else, which appears mandated from upon high, like their presentation of the average run-of-the-mill wife and mother, the Stepford version, as an empowered, which seems to, way more often than not, present itself as solely and predaciously nymphomaniacal, is out getting pile-driven into the casting couch by the hottest young stud she can express checkout of Filene's basement. The runtime is under 2 hours, people. We can't expect a high-powered CEO to actually spend time digging anything out of the mud. Their time is far too valuable to do any actual due diligence. Any basic Hansel-esque looking youth can stand in as the Joan of Arc archetype long enough to shatter her Dorian Gray self-deception. Exactly the same hell Tom Cruise's character went through in Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, which is, talk about a genius versus a not. Eyes Wide Shut versus Babygirl. I haven't even seen Babygirl. Why would I? I already know what it's all about. Yeah, we're going to get to that. Hell, throw a Tom Brady mask on that uninterested panda. Maybe it'll stop castling its own feces long enough to mount her and then defecate in her Prada bag before walk-a-shaming itself back to Tokyo. Nobody's paying attention anyway. I haven't seen Babygirl. I'm just inferring from the title and the public domain build-your-own melodrama Bluebeard narrative template. Spoiler, eventually the blue-bearded older man, think Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, gets run by the archetypal virginal human husk. I could have saved myself 4,000 words just by saying it's not Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, the end, because its existence exposes the fatal flaw in Kidman as blue-bearded baby girl concept. And it has nothing to do with gender. In theater direction, or any storytelling presentation that utilizes actors, you're limited by the range of your casting options. This is why passion projects are traps, because you'll get someone like Nicole Kidman who thinks she can flip the script and turn a timeless narrative archetypal antagonist into the protagonist simply because she's Nicole Kidman, or that Baldwin fellow with the silky smooth voice who thinks he looks cool in a Stetson and duster, so he finances his own Wonka chocolate room, Wild West, play pretend, gun fun, whiz bang, boom smoke, and whoops. I didn't see anything. Did you see anything? I didn't see anything. Stop letting these delusional megalomaniacs use you in their fantasies. The issue is Nicole Kidman is oblivious to the fact that Nicole Kidman is less endearing than a taxidermied crocodile head. She's not Steve Martin. Actresses most certainly exist that are endearing enough to overcome the fatal moral flaws as scripted. Anna Faris comes to mind, but not Kidman. She's got range, but when your truest North casting to date was as a Stepford wife, you might as well save yourself some time and set the budget capital ablaze. Not a soul is going to suspend their disbelief to genuinely find your adulterous desecration of the Eternal Family Logos on Christmas Day worthwhile. This brutally critical gauntlet will predictably force her dopey, ignorant, fat, lazy Jim Kidman, accentuate the hyphen, Gaffigan, to chug as much mash liquor as possible this holiday, while his daughter rips a page out of her mommy's spell book of virtue to summon the transcendent radical feminist. Buy now, today, for transcendent radical feminist, shiny, free, strap-on, Dark Lord's horned oneness exclusive. Jordan Peterson again. This in what traditionally would be her prime childbearing year. Merit. No positive presence is presented in this broadcast of any age. It all comes off as creepy. If I wanted to be really mean, I honestly get a Trololo vibe from the inherent melodrama baked into thirsty salesmanship. If you want to keep watching these programs that are designed to hollow you out morally, best not to spend too much time and thought on topics of this nature. Or, oh no, I'm doing it again. Lloyd Austin was the next segment. You know, the African-American general, big man of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's the chief of staff of the Chiefs. Where would he fit in this menagerie? I left him out on purpose. I know. That's racism. I'm a knot. K-N-O-T. You caught me. I'm a naughty knot. Not naughty. Awful naughty boy who's naughty. Naughty knot. I need a new and improved Dick Cheney Freedom Wash 2.0. Now with new inclusion mandated shampoo. Buy now. But wait, there's more. Order now and get new free woke rainbow formula scent. Free but now. Buy but now. Today. I wonder if that's in Lloyd Austin's job description. Freedom washer with the new woke rainbow formula. Wonder what that smells like. Wait. Rainbow formula. Sounds familiar. Rainbow. Alejandro. Formula. Australia. Alejandro Australia may be Lloyd Austin's drag queen code name. End. This has been an honest, obnoxiously so, for comedic affect, anthropological, philosophical critique of Jane Pauley's CBS Sunday Morning from 12/15/24. This possesses sociological relevance, both presently and historically. Thank you for arguing in advance. Footnote Appendix 1A. UrbanDictionary.com. Fag hag. Women who cling to gay men, often seen around groups of gay men. They use the insulating effect to enjoy a night on the town without being assaulted by straight men. Also one who clings to a gay man and reports to be his BFF. Wow, those girls are such fag hags. By Nate, 444, February 12th, 08. 2. Fag hyphen hag. A fag hag is a woman who prefers the company of gay men. A fag hag is a woman who prefers the company of gay men. The marriage of two derogatory terms, fag and hag, symbolizing the union of the world's most popular objects of scorn, homosexual and woman, creates a moniker that most of those who wear it find inoffensive, possibly because it smacks of solidarity. By SLG. 3. Fag hag. A straight woman who loves the company of the gay male community, such as drag shows and going to gay bars. She also has a best friend that is gay, and the have everything in a hetero relationship except the sex part. And they share what best girlfriends have in common. Most often, the gay men she hangs out with, especially if she is beautiful and attracted to her. But the attraction is only them mirroring her because her beauty and the drag queens want to be her, and her main fag is usually very proud to have her as a hag, and a true fag hag isn't ashamed to admire who she is. By Dawn Sumner. Fag hag. You are a true fag hag if 1. You are a straight girl who has a best friend who is gay and spends a lot of time together. 2. You would rather go to a gay club than a straight club. 3. Your fag gave you your own drag name. 4. You know all the gay guys at the local gay bar. 5. You fag takes you shopping for MAC makeup and then puts it on you. 6. Your hair and makeup are always flawless. Okay. What number? Whatever. Next. You dress up in the drag gear on Saturday night or dress in drag together. You even dance with all the fags on stage with Britney Spears when Britney Spears comes on. You learn to vogue from watching your fag. You fall in love with your fag, which is a bad thing. You try to convert your fag. This will only ruin your relationship with him. And lastly, you find yourself not being able to live without him because you have so much fun without him. By Dawn Sumner again. Okay. Fag hag. Noun, a woman who enjoys hanging out with gay men. Okay, good.